So FTT BTC, and this was a trade that actually happened right on the, as a backdrop, we had Steve Curry, the celebrated basketball player from the Golden State Warriors. He actually announced that he was partnering with the platform FTX, and FTX, we have a token, the FTT, and right here if you pay close attention, and this is actually a breakout that was reported in the mentor room, you will notice, let's actually go to the daily so I can actually give you a walk back into this trade. So that was September the 5th. September the 5th. And this was a trade that got confirmed off the 1 hour time frame right here. Okay. So we had a very elongated candle. Notice here, big volume behind. We had 4 candles correcting lower. These candles carried very low volume. That is very corrective on nature. Notice that also this correction was testing the previous all-time high in FTX BTC. So up until this point, we can draw certain conclusions, and that is, this is a market that is trending higher, that it is actually having big volume behind, that is retesting a previous area of resistance, big time macro resistance, now most likely going to be turned support. So we want to go into the lower time frames and identify whether or not there was a consolidation, a range that had been formed. And as we come into the lower time frames, and let me just remove this one because at the time this red line would have not been drawn. At the time, notice that we did have, and it's important here that we train our eye to really come to terms about the proper identification of these levels of support and resistance, in this case resistance. Notice that we had a high, we had a second high, we had a big market movement on the back, exactly synchronized with this news. And what I want to emphasize, and this is something that might be a little more advanced, but if you happen to spot these breakouts at the time that the news are breaking, the chances are that we might have plenty of momentum behind, okay? So we have this candle, it is not quite breaking, but the one that follows through, it is finally breaking, and the volume you can see here was exploding way above the average. So that's our entry right here. We need to then work out what would be the efficiency ratio. So that's the entry, that would be the stop around 9%, and then the previous high comes about 9% as well. So that's a 1-to-1 risk reward. Now, our base case is that we do not want to be taking profits until minimum 2-to-1 risk reward. Now, I want you to pause for a second and think about the maths and the statistics behind. We are always looking, being obsessed in cutting our losses short if the trade is not working out in our favor. That means that in very few occasions, at least in my case, and that's what I'm training my students to do, in many occasions, we can cut the loss for a fraction of what would have represented a full loss, or -1R. Now, when it comes to the collection of profits, we do not want to be collecting profits until at least a 2-to-1 risk reward. So the 2-to-1 risk reward would be the list that we want to collect, okay? So in this case, FTX BTC, notice that the market did travel for almost 4-to-1, and I can actually provide the history behind. So if you actually come to the history right here, you will notice that as part of 3 commas yesterday, I did have a loss in AVAX BTC, but notice here, like, I am cutting my losses pretty sure, like -$850. But when it comes to the wins, like Ethereum BTC, higher win 1,096, that's what matters. Then the next one, Sol BTC, 1,500. And right here, that's the one that I am emphasizing right now. Case in point, FTT BTC 3,000 plus, or like at the end of the day, my unit of account is always going to be BTC. So what matters to me is this profit, 0.06 BTC, okay? So always letting the profits run and cutting your losses short, something that I have been hammering home from the very introduction of today's presentation. Hey traders, Ivan from Global Prime here. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, a comment below, and remember, subscribe to the channel and click the bell button to get notified of the next video update. And whenever you're ready to join my course and the mentor room that I run, then be sure to click the link below, sign up, and I'll do my absolute best to take your trading to the next level. See you on the inside.